Hello, everybody. It's me, Roscoe, and welcome to another edition of the Kings of Anglia Track the Girls Talk podcast, which is sponsored by John Fowler Solicitors. Big up Mark Kennedy and the team there for the continued support. And today, we have a very special podcast because we're discussing the day to remember at Portman Road, and we're joined by a very special guest in goalkeeper. Fantastic person all round, Nina Meollo. Nina, it's a pleasure to be joined by you. How's things?
Great. Yeah, really good. Had an amazing weekend. Feeling great. Have training later, so hopefully, I'm sure me and the girls will be talking about the weekend all over again. So yeah, great things happening.
Yeah, I'm sure you're still buzzing. I'm sure the players are still buzzing from the weekend. And what a weekend it was because, Town Women's team playing at Portman Road in a league match for the first ever time. And not a bad crowd, Nina. Let's give a shout out to the fans because they came. We called for them and over 10,000 watched at Portman Road. That number is fantastic. I think it's the third most attendance on the weekend. I think the England game against Brazil at Wembley, and then I think the Manchester derby, and we were third. So to think, we had the most fans in a ground, third most was amazing. But when you saw that number, unbelievable numbers.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think on Friday training, the day before that game, we were talking about it and say it would be great to get 10,000 because I think by that time it was 8,000 to 9,000 tickets sold. And then to see that number just over 10,000, it was surreal, to be honest. None of us could believe it, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about the whole day. Obviously, yourself coming off the bench, and that must have been an amazing moment, coming on and having all the fans cheer. We'll get onto that in a bit, but I want to sort of talk about the build-up, waking up, knowing you're going to be going to Portman Road to play a match. What was that like, walking up? I'm sure everyone had butterflies, a bit nerves. How are you feeling when you woke up on Saturday? Of course, normally Saturdays, maybe your chill day or whatever. Sunday's the game day normally, but Saturday.
Yeah, normally Saturday I actually have work, so to have a massive game like that, it was a different feeling. I woke up the same as every week, excited. This one was a little bit different, but when I met the girls, they were actually quite nervous. Like some of them were actually a little bit, when we got on the coach on the way back to Portman, they were a bit nervous, but I was pretty chill. I kind of like to take it all in and just enjoy it. So yeah, or probably it's a bit different because I wasn't starting, but not really much nerves, to be honest. So yeah.
And of course, it was sort of the same build-up as the men would do. You went to Portman Road, parked up, then got onto the coach, went to Playford Road, had some lunch, and then I'm sure you then knew it was real when you got on the coach once again, driving to Portman Road. And obviously, you had a welcome from the fans. What was that like? Coming off the coach and there was fans there, high-fiving, obviously, probably wanting pictures and stuff. But and obviously cameras there as well. What was that like?
It was so different. Obviously the experience from that day to not what we normally get when we get to AGO Arena, it was different. Coming off the bus, being announced off the bus, and then just seeing the little fans there, with parents and cameras everywhere. It was amazing. It was really good.
And then, of course, you get into the dressing room and all your shirts are up. What was that like? That moment where you saw, your number, your name on the shirt. Obviously, you normally get that at all the other grounds you go to, and obviously at Felixstowe. But this time, it's Portman Road, a massive dressing room, so you got some space to sort of move around.
Yeah, the changing room is massive. Just walking through that door, and seeing my shirt there and seeing everyone's reactions, we were all like buzzing. Music was straight on. Get the feeling going, and like I said, like all of our stuff was sort of laid out already for us, and that's not something that we're used to. So it was a whole different feeling. It was kind of like a feeling that we've not many of us have felt before. So yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously you then walk onto the pitch, just have a little wander, have a little look round. Obviously, knowing you're going to be playing on this pitch, what was that like? And obviously, it's a carpet now, Portman Road, and obviously there's some grounds we go to, the pitches aren't the great. Normally, sometimes we play on 3G, so that's always a different service to adapt to. But knowing you'll be playing on this carp at Portman Road, I'm sure you can't wait for it.
Yeah, great pitch. And it was, when we got there, the weather wasn't actually that bad, so we actually got to see it in a really good condition. And yeah, the grass was, perfectly leveled. Massive, massive space for us. Yeah, we were just sort of looking around and just sort of trying to get the feeling of it. But yeah, walking up was great, really good.
And of course, you've been at some football grounds before, and MK Dons early in the season at Stadium MK, which is a big stadium as well. But when you look at the goals, they feel a little bit bigger when it's actually in a stadium. Normally, as you say, they are the same length as any goal on any other ground, but it must feel a bit different as a goalkeeper when you sort of walk up to it and go, "It looks a bit bigger than a normal one."
No, actually, I actually told Laura it looked a bit smaller.
Okay.
And yeah, and I was thinking maybe have I like gone taller or something, but I think she said because the stadium is massive, it actually makes the goal a little bit smaller maybe. But yeah, no, I actually had a little bit of different feeling with the goal. It was a little bit smaller than I expected, but yeah, I think it's because of the stadium.
That's probably better then for you. Then you're not so
Yeah.
intimidated by the goal. You think, okay, I'll be easy to save goals in this one. Easy, happy days. That's good. Funny enough, I don't know if you guys, girls, sort of knew about this, but it hailed at some point. I don't know if that you guys see that, but I was outside in the fan zone just speaking to some fans, and it just out of nowhere hailed, and I thought, oh, please don't be one of these days. So did you girls see that?
Yeah. So we started warming up, and as soon as we were kicking the ball about, it just absolutely went down with hail. And yeah, we were just waiting for Nicola to warm us up, but I think she was a bit busy in the change room, so we were just out there and we were soaked. And then it just went away again. It was a bit weird, but yeah, it's good that it didn't continue. That's the main thing.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those moments where you went, oh, please don't. Like, the day wouldn't have been ruined, but it would have been just in terms of like the football and stuff. Oh, the weather. But
Yeah.
hopefully it was nice sunshine. It was a bit of a overcast day, but it weren't too bad overall, which is good. But yeah, obviously the warm-ups, what was that like? Of course, goalkeepers, you're normally the first ones to come out. So what was that like, just clapping the fans? Obviously, not all the fans were in the ground at that point, but there was still a good amount.
Yeah. So yeah, Kieran gave us a heads up that we might be clapped when we come out, because obviously me and Laura and Paul, we come out a little bit earlier than the players, and yeah, he just wanted us to interact. And I think the first few seconds when we went out, there not many people clapped, so I was just thinking, oh, I'm not really sure if we're supposed to clap now. But then yeah, as soon as we got further and further, got clapped by some of the fans, some of my family, and yeah, it was great. And to see it on Town TV as well on that video, yeah, it was really good. Biggest smile on my face.
Yes, definitely, indeed. And obviously, and all the players come out, and obviously now fans were coming in, and I'm sure you were looking around thinking, oh, this is going to be a really good crowd. Of course, as you said, we already sold 8,000, and then obviously in the end it was 10,137, which is just incredible. Fair play to all the fans who came out, and obviously it was, kids of all ages, their parent, but also just anybody, even some blokes just went, yeah, why not? I want to go and support the girls. So which is good to see. And obviously, you went back into the dressing room, and then obviously the moment where the players came out, obviously you were on the bench, but you sort of, you can see that visually. And so what was that like, feeling like on some goosebumps?
Yeah. I was so excited for them. Yeah, just really proud to see them come out together and experience it together. And yeah, like you said, even though I was on the bench, I sort of knew what they were feeling, and just to come out with their mascots as well, and people, little kids that they really cherish in front of, again, like tens and thousands of people. It's yeah, it's a great feeling, great to see.
Yeah, it's great to see all the little mascots. And shout out to my niece. She was actually Laura's mascot. So
Oh, really?
yeah, she was. So yeah, big shout out to my niece, Alana, who was Laura's mascot. And yeah, it was just great to see all the mascots. And of course, Joe's daughter,
Yeah.
only 8 months old daughter, was Boswell's, Mira Boswell's, captain Bos. I went very formal on it, Boswell. But of course, Bos's mascot, which is like, probably the youngest mascot ever. But yeah, that's a lovely, lovely moment. And obviously, then it was game time, Nina. And it was a bit of a cagey, wasn't it? First sort of 10 minutes, I think everyone probably still had nerves. Obviously, Chatham, fair play to them. They came here and they wanted to give us a game as well, because there's an experience for them as well as players for Chatham. Sadly, they got relegated on the day, but I'm sure they sort of enjoyed the experience as a whole in terms of playing at a stadium in front of those crowd. But yeah, sort of cagey first 10 minutes. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we possessed the ball a lot the first few minutes. I think we had some chances, and actually the first few minutes I actually said to EK or Izzy, we're gonna do a lot of damage here. I can see it. Like, we got the ball a lot forward, and a lot of balls in the box for Tash and runners, and some of them didn't quite get in, but I was thinking, give us more time, and I think we could do a lot of damage here. So yeah, fair play to Cheltenham. I think they did a great. I think they were sitting on a block. I think they kind of let us have the ball a lot, and then they just sort of defended it and went for the counter attack. But yeah, must be a different feeling for them.
Yeah, and obviously there was a big stoppage where Lucy O'Brien and the Chatham skipper clashed heads.
Yeah.
Obviously, a moment where you think, "Oh, I hope everything's all right." I remember zooming in to Lucy and go, "Oh God, she's got a bit of blood going through," and obviously she had to get a bandage around
Yeah.
her. She looked like back in the day, Terry Butcher, of course, a men's town legend. But yeah, obviously a close friend of yours. Thankfully, she carried on. Unfortunately, the Chatham captain had to come off, but yeah, a moment that Lucy's probably thinking, big moment, I'm having to now wear a bandage.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously when we saw that, obviously any head injury is a serious injury, and she went down for a few minutes, and it was longer than we expected. And then when we heard that she was bleeding, and that the Cheltenham girl wasn't okay as well, we were all a bit worried. And yeah, when when we saw her started getting rapid with the bandage, we thought that she looked like she was playing in America. When the girls have that massive wrap on their head. Yeah, but I'm glad she was okay, and it wasn't anything serious, and she went back on the pitch, and she continued. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, fair play for Lucy to carry on, because that's always obviously a head injury. You always have to watch out.
Yeah,
But yeah, fair play. The amount of minutes she did play on, which is good to see. Obviously now, of course, got the memories of her having a bandage now. So it's just like she's like, well, damn it, I could have had some really nice pictures without a bandage, but it's
yeah,
something to remember and just look back on, I'm sure. And then that stoppage, obviously, was a good stoppage. Then the game resumed, and the first goal happened, and I think it had to be, didn't it? It had to be Natasha Thomas to score the goal, and this was one hell of a strike, and one of my favourite sort of goals to hit the post and in. What was your reaction when you saw that go in?
that was crazy. I actually thought when she first touched the ball, I thought she was going to shoot. Then she took another touch, and then she sort of like full on swing the ball across her and hooked it. And when it hit the post, obviously everyone hears that noise, and it went in. Yeah, first goal could have not been a better first goal, to be honest. Yeah, we were all buzzing in the bench, all screaming, and to get to hear all the fans clap and cheer on it was really good. And I'm bet Tash is really buzzing for that. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a great moment, because obviously, this is the first time we had really a big crowd really celebrate a goal, and obviously we said beforehand, all the players celebrate. Go on, you got to enjoy the day and celebrate.
Yeah.
And obviously, she did that, and everyone got involved, which was great to see. And it was 1-0, and had to be the legendary Natasha Thomas scoring a 147th goal. Of course, she went on to score later in the game. And then obviously, it was Soap Escott to make it 2-0. And I watched back the game just before coming on, and she got a bit fortunate. Some of the defenders, clipped that, but still, she had to does what she normally does, weaves around defenders. And it was a solo goal in the end. But yeah, what a goal.
yeah, what a goal for her. And yeah, like you said, there was a little bit of a, could be questionable defending from Cheltenham. I think it went through one of their legs or a missed clearance. I'm not really sure, but yeah, she finished it off, and she took her chance, and her celebration was great. Kissed the badge and everything. So yeah, I know she was buzzing, and you can see it on her face. So I'm really happy for her.
Yeah, and so that's 2-0, and that's half time, done and dusted. Then second half comes in, and Tash Thomas makes it 3-0. And you know what? I didn't appreciate this goal as much until I watched it back this morning. And she really had to make some good movement, and
Yeah,
sort of do a bit of a false move to intercept the defender, and then boom, another goal, make it 3-0, and a brace
yeah.
on the day.
Yeah, drop a shoulder, and I think when I watched it back, the defender slid in, and then that's when she finished it. Keeper had no chance because I think it was quite a close distance, but yeah, she done really well, and yeah, that was her second goal, and I thought she was going to get a hat trick. To be honest, I think all of us was thinking, oh, I think she should get a hat trick, but yeah, I know she was buzzing for it, and yeah, I know she was feeling great, so yeah, it was really good.
That would have been a great moment if she scored the hat trick.
Yeah,
But unfortunately not. But then at least there was other goal scorers on the day as well. And I have actually forgot to mention. I'm sure Bonnie was like thinking, "Oh, I was hoping you're going to forget about it," but we've got to mention it. Sadly, Bonnie did miss a penalty, but we're going to talk about the point of view of the goalie, as you're a goalkeeper. Appreciate the
hmm
save as well. Obviously, Bonnie's normally the one to step up and she scores it, but obviously a big pressure moment in front of that many fans.
yeah, yeah,
But you've got to appreciate the save by the goalie. Would you say it's a top save?
yeah. I'd say I think she played really well that game.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you know, yeah. So yeah, I think she did a really good save. It was quite a hard shot and mid height shot as well. And I actually asked Bonnie, and I think she said she changed her mind last
Oh,
minute because I think she might have thought that Cheltenham did their analysis and you know sort of guessed that Bonnie went the same way over time, so she thought of switching it up. But yeah, so yeah, fair play to the keeper. Yeah, great save, but I'm sure Bonnie was a little bit disappointed with that. But she said it's all right. I'm sure she will get next one. So yeah,
yeah, I'm sure she bounced back. And of course, Bonnie had a great game anyway, so it's like, don't worry,
yeah,
Bonnie. You may have missed a penalty, but you had a great game, so it's all good. And the goalkeeper saved it, so it's not like you blast
yeah,
over the bar. It's a good save from the keeper. And as you said, yeah, I think their keeper had a really good game. I think it could have been even more goals if it wasn't for their goalkeeper. So yeah, big shout out to their
yeah,
goalkeeper.
definitely.
So yeah, obviously we mentioned Tash's goal, make it 3-0, and then the fourth goal, probably the pick of the bunch, isn't it? Because what a
hmm
team goal! Once again, I didn't appreciate it until when you watch it back in live. Watching it, you think, "Oh, that's a good goal." But when you watch it back and
Yeah,
go, I didn't even think of Tash's back heel. I didn't actually see it in real time until you watch it back. I went, "That is like cheeky from Tash to do that back heel," and a
yeah.
great finish from Lena.
Yeah, I think the ball started, from a back line. Laura got involved with it as well. Went to Evie. Then did it go to Summer?
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, Summer and then Tash. Yeah, it was a lot of a lot of passes went through it, and then to see, I thought Tash was going to hit it first time, but no, she sort of set it back to Lena. First time strike from her, powerful, and went top bins as well. And yeah, her celebration and the energy from her and all the fans and the team was great. And you can tell it was one goal because I think Laura came down
Good,
and
yeah.
celebrated with them. So yeah, yeah, I was really happy about that. And Joe's reaction and everyone's reaction was really good.
Yeah, I love that. Sadly, I missed it because it was like a massive bundle, of course, and I just saw, oh, Laura's down here. It was like brilliant though, brilliant. Obviously, she started the move, so it was like, yeah, brilliant celebration. What a
Yeah,
moment! Like that's a long way to go a run as well. I'm sure
yeah,
Laura was knackered. She was like, oh, maybe she had done that, but yeah, just the adrenaline
yeah.
going
She was
through.
blowing.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine. But yeah, what a goal to make it 4-0, then 5-0. Summer Hughes to make it
hmm
and to wrap up the win. Bit of a a bit of the ball ping, just going in the box, and someone was there just to well it in to make it 5.
Finished it. Yeah. Pescott was it? I think it was from Pescott's cross.
Yeah.
Keeper saved it, and a bit of a scrappy clearance, a rebound, and then second ball. Someone was there, and I could see it in her face that she was really buzzing, and fifth goal, but everyone still had the energy to celebrate, and I'm really happy for her to score, and not only score but score in front of a lot of people, and I'm sure she was really happy about that. So great way to finish.
Yeah, brilliant way to finish. And she's scored a few goals this season, which is good to see, adding that to her number. And she sort of had to get pushed, didn't she, by Evie to celebrate, because obviously she's we're winning 5-0, but Evie went, no, come on, enjoy this moment.
Like Kieran said to us, it's really important for us to, whenever we score, we interact with the fans and celebrate as much as we can and just enjoy it. And I'm glad that Evie kind of gave her the courage to do that, because I know that's a little bit out of her comfort zone, but either way, I'm sure she was buzzing and really happy. So
Yeah, and obviously Summer does what she does, consistent every week. So another good performance from Summer, and I think it was a good performance from everyone. I think everyone gets a good 8, 9 out of 10, pretty much. I think everyone had a good game. So big shout out to everyone who played. And obviously yourself, Nina, coming off the bench.
Yeah.
What was that moment like? Getting ready to walk onto that pitch. Obviously you're already warmed up and all that stuff, but this time you are going to come on to replace Laura and get ready for your name to be shouted out. And then obviously now, getting ready to clapped on.
Yeah, it was a feeling I can't describe, to be honest. I think when Joe told me to get ready, I was like, oh wow, I think I might actually get on. And warming up, and then it got clapped while warming up. It was great. And then sort of getting ready, there was a little bit of an issue with my socks. I think the referee said, I don't know about my cut socks, but everyone had cut socks. So and then to get on, and my family was right next to me as well, so they got a whole view of it. And hearing my name out loud and getting announced, and a lot of people clapping, I think it was a feeling that I've never experienced before. So it was a great feeling and something I will always remember. So really good
day to remember. Of course, both got a clean sheet, so that was good to see. Laura had a few chances at her, and I think you had a bit more. Maybe you had more things to sort out, because obviously I think they'd got a corner, didn't they, Chatham, at one stage? I think they had a chance. So you're a bit busier maybe than Laura.
I would say so. I think we were both quite busy in possession. Out of possession, I had a corner and something to deal with, and obviously that quite a little bit of confusion with Buzz, which was my responsibility. But definitely threw me off a little bit. But we were both busy, and it was great to get involved as much as possible with the time I had, and really happy that we got clean sheet. So
that's good. And put you on a spot here. What can you remember from that first touch when you got the ball for the first time, and obviously the fans cheering on and getting that touch that ball for the first time?
Oh, it was it was a different feeling. I wasn't really nervous, to be honest. I think I just sort of wanted to enjoy it, play how I play, get involved as much as possible, whether that's just in possession and communication, and just sort of how I play in training and in other games. So but to get that first touch of the ball, I was the energy was there, and I wanted to get involved a little bit more, and it was a great feeling.
Yeah, I can imagine. And we've got to talk about another big moment on the day. A returning king
Mhm.
Eloise King obviously made her return. Obviously a big Town fan. Obviously she made a late cameo, but what a moment for her being a big, Ipswich Town fan, as I said, and to come on, make a return. Obviously she's been out all season, unfortunately, but I'm sure you were both on the bench talking and thinking, oh, we're going to get a chance to play, and obviously you both did. But that moment when
Yeah.
he came on, I'm sure that was a moment that all the players just loved.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, she's been out for almost all of the season, and to see her come on that day was, we couldn't be more proud. I couldn't be more proud. She's done, she's gone through so much on and off the pitch, to get where she is, and I know she's put so much work into it, and there's a lot of people around her that's supporting her, and I'm sure she's thankful for. And yeah, like you said, she's been there since a very young age, so I'm sure it was a dream come true for her to play at that stadium and have her family come and watch. And yeah, we spoke about it in the bench. She said, I said to her that I think it would be great to see you get on, and she'd be really happy to get on even for a couple of minutes. So yeah, to see her get on, it was really proud, and we were all very, very, very happy for her, and I'm sure she was very, very happy as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she was, and I'm sure her family was as well. And that's a big thing as well. All of you are supported by great families. All your family were there, and obviously the full-time whistle hits, and yeah, 5-0 win, clean sheet, 3 points on the board. Unfortunately, the season is sort of sadly fizzling out, but it's still
Yeah.
what a day, a landmark day, a day to inspire the next generation. How's that feel to be you hopefully going to be inspire the next goalkeepers coming through as well?
Yeah, and I think that was our aim, just to sort of get out there and deliver how we play. And like, Kyra said a few times, there's some people that came that first time to see us and watch us play, and that was our main goal, to sort of just deliver how we play and stick to the principles, and but also inspire the generation. And to be able to do that, it was really good. And to hear comments as well after the game from the little fans as well, it was really inspiring, and it gave us a little bit more motivation, actually. So yeah, it was really good.
And my former co-host Blue Wilson was doing co-coms for Town TV. Big shout out to Blue, who obviously still miss you, Blue. We all miss you.
Yeah.
But I think I'm doing an okay job as the main host these days. But yeah, I do miss you. I wish you could come back. But yeah, good job. Shout out to Glenn as well, who was the main commentator as well. But yeah, it was great to see the Town TV footage and Town in 5 and stuff, as you mentioned. It was great. You watched that with your dad. What was that moment like?
Yeah.
Seeing that sort of footage, that behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, like, he was there, but to watch it sort of get edited and finalized, and see the behind the scenes that he didn't quite see. Yeah, he was really buzzing for me and the team. And I think I might have to watch it with the whole family now, since he really enjoyed it. So yeah.
And obviously, Joe has called you all the trailblazers because of
Hmm.
that reason, because of that amazing attendance, the just inspiring the next generation. Obviously, you all celebrated afterwards. What was that like? As a team, sort of after the game, knowing you played at Portman Road, and just to enjoy the day as a whole, and have a good night as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we discussed that we wanted to do something as a team, and get many of us involved as much as we can, to sort of just to celebrate that day, and have fun, and get to know each other a little bit more, and just be with each other after that day. And yeah, it was great. We had a fun night. It was a long night, I must admit, but yeah, it was really fun. And sometimes those days are needed, and there's nothing wrong with having those days. So yeah, we definitely had fun, but now it's back to work. So yeah.
Yeah, what a day, a landmark day for the club, and yeah, bring on the next time we play at Portman Road. Can't wait for that. But yeah, no, I think 6 games left to go this
Mhm.
season. But before we get into that, I want to sort of talk about your journey, Nina, in football. That's always the first question I always like to ask. How did you sort of start? How did you get into football? Was it your dad thing? Was it a family thing? How did you get into football?
I think it was in primary school actually. Um, I wasn't that typical girl that wanted to stay indoors and sort of yeah. I just sort of wanted to get out there, and I think a couple of the boys wanted me, asked me to join a game of football, and because I wasn't really, obviously I didn't know anything about it. This sort of just put me in goal and actually made some great saves, and then yeah, it just carried on from there. The next day they sort of kept asking me and got into it more and started watching it, the men's football, and then yeah, joined the boys team, and then sort of from there it was the Norwich girls, got into that, and then obviously yeah, Ipswich. So it's been a long journey, but yeah, that's how I started.
Yeah, it's always the question you get asked. Definitely a goalkeeper. Like, did you always want to be a goalkeeper? So that was that just that moment. Yeah, at school, you just got sort of chucked in because you just and then you made some good save. You went, you know what? I like this. I like diving about.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was yeah, it's definitely a painful position to be in, but I think I was just so overwhelmed with the praises from not just the boys but the teachers, and they started telling my dad, and my dad saw potential, and he sort of pushed me to get into the team, and then they sort of saw potential as well. So sort of kept progressing from there, and then I just sort of said, you know, I'll just stick to being a goalkeeper, and yeah, and I enjoy the position anyway. So yeah.
And you mentioned you started at Norwich, but we'll ignore that part. It's fine. Everyone's got
Yeah.
other start of their journey. Obviously, then you joined Ipswich Town, which is a good thing. Back in the summer of 2020, what was that feeling like when you got that sort of call? You're joining the club, and obviously part of the academy set up back then.
Yeah, it was a whole um different part of my career. I think I had to move out because of I was sort of in the St Joe's as well as in college. So moving out, that was a whole different experience, and then coming into a whole different team, and a team that I knew that was that had high standards. I knew a couple of the players like Kyra, Blue was there as well, and um yeah, and then first training, I sort of was overwhelmed with how you know great the standard was and how intense it was, and I think that's when I realized I needed to step up, um and yeah, to be part of that was great, and yeah, it was really good.
I'll put you on a spot here. Which sort of goalkeepers sort of inspire you? What sort of goalkeepers do you look up to? You sort of watch their clips and just you sort of use that sort of style. Of course, you do your own style, but any that
Hmm.
sort of stand out for you?
In the younger age, it was Manuel Neuer. I really liked how much he involved himself in the games, sort of sweeper keeper, sort of style to get out there and get out of the comfort zone of the box. I really like that one. The women's, I was going to say probably Mary Earps, um, just because of what she's done with England and the confidence she has, and um, I think she's a whole different level um, in everything. So yeah, I really do look up to her as well.
And of course, goalkeeper has changed so much. Goalkeeping has changed a lot. Obviously, back in the day, goalkeeper just boot up the field and hope for the best,
Hmm.
hope the big striker heads it on. But now, obviously,
Yeah.
you got to do a lot of footwork and you got a lot of possession based as well. How's that been adapting like that?
Yeah, that is very true. When I was in the grassroots with the girls, that was just my main worry, just sort of just getting out of, saving the ball, but also getting out of my box, and um, just let my players deal with it. But now it's sort of definitely when I came into Ipswich, it was definitely more really keep the ball and remain the possession of the ball, and um, yeah, I try my best to do that in whatever situations possible. So yeah, it's definitely a different style now, but I guess it's it's for the benefit of myself as well. Get you know work on my feet a little bit more. So yeah, it's good.
That's good. And obviously, you progressed to make your debut. You're playing for the academy side, obviously, but then you made your debut against QPR. And sadly, Nina, I wasn't there. I missed it. So I wasn't able to see the goal. I was away somewhere. But that must have been a great feeling knowing you're going to be making your debut for the first team.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Joe told me I think when we arrived there that he's going to start me. Um, or not going to start. He was going to play me, and yeah, when he told me that, I was, I was a little bit nervous because I didn't expect it. I don't. If I can remember, I don't think I have a lot of things to do. But yeah, just getting involved in with the possession with the girls, and like I said, just sort of communicating and trying to get involved as much as I can. It was yeah, it was a great experience.
A clean sheet as well. I know you didn't have much to do, but you always, just in case if that's sometimes the worst moment actually, when you've got nothing to do and out of nowhere they strike and you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
one moment. But so you got to make sure you're sort of making sure you're ready for anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. I think that's the hardest thing in some situations where for the longest time in the game you have we weren't really involved, possession and out of possession, and then somehow they break a counter attack and they have that one shot on you, or you've had to come out and get the ball. It could be really easily to switch off and sort of sort of just stay away from that position situation. But yeah, it's really important to sort of stay switched on and remain calm in that situation.
Yeah, the one word I was thinking of there, I couldn't think of it at the time. Concentration, in it. Concentration all the time, making
Yeah.
sure you're ready for anything, which is good to see. And obviously, you're understudy to Sarah Quantrill for a few seasons. Obviously, Sarah no longer with us. She's gone to Norwich. Obviously, she was actually at the game on Saturday, which was great to see. So shout out to Sarah for coming. I think she was a guest for Michael Kennedy. Obviously, John Fowler solicitors, big up them for their continued support for sponsoring this podcast. But yeah, what was that like being an understudy for Sarah? Obviously, an experienced goalkeeper, played at the highest level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've learned a lot from her. She was really supportive, and like I said, she was a bit more mature than me, and not only in the game but in life in general. And so, when situations I didn't really know how to handle, she was there, and she gave me advice, and yeah, she was definitely someone I looked up to with how she performs and how she delivers in game, and how calm she remains. And I think there was a lot of times where I asked her is she nervous for the game, and her response was always no, because she's just so used to it, and she she has her ways to sort of deal with the nerves, and that's something that I really wanted to overcome, because I get nervous a lot. So yeah, she's definitely inspired a lot, me a lot. So yeah.
And of course, this season you've had Poppy Sopar and Laurie Hartley. The goalkeepers union, is a big thing, isn't it? And obviously,
Yeah.
shout out to Paul. What's Paul been like as a goalkeeping coach as well? You've had a few goalkeeping coaches through the years, but Paul, the last 2 years, has been with you, and he's done a good job.
Yeah, he's done a very good job on and off the pitch, keeping us updated with things, and yeah, he's a very good coach. The sessions that he puts up, and he makes sure that we're all like prepped for the week and prepared for the game. And yeah, I've learned so much from him, and he's very supportive, and it's something that I can't be more thankful for. And yeah, he really pushes me and Laura and Poppy when she was here, and makes it a healthy competition for three of us. So yeah, he's I couldn't be more grateful to have him in here. So yeah.
That's good. And let's talk about Laura a little bit as well, because yeah, Laura, what a character, another leader, a part of the team as well. A bit of a quiet leader, but she's still, makes a presence known and stuff like that. But yeah, another good goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, she's yeah, like you said, she's a leader. Off the pitch, she's definitely come out of her comfort zone and got more involved. And again, she's a player that I look up to, on and off the pitch. And yeah, she brings a lot of character onto the pitch. And she's one of those that's, like you said, she's quite quiet, but when you get to know her, she can be, out there. And yeah, me and her, we have a good relationship. And yeah, it just makes everything better on the pitch, knowing that we're on good terms. And um, we're cool with each other. So yeah, she's a great person.
That's good to hear. And obviously, of course, you wanted to get some minutes this season. You had a little loan spell at Cambridge, and you had a lot of work to do. But you, of course, got
Mhm.
player of the match award loads of time. But yeah, what was that experience like? Knowing you're going to be playing week in, week out, and yeah, you
Yeah.
were busy at Cambridge City.
Yeah, it was a whole different experience for me, I think. Being on loan is something I've never experienced before in my career. And to sort of, manage two teams, train with Ipswich, but also train with them. And then knowing that I'll be playing with them on a weekend, it was sort of, at first it was hard to balance, but I got there. And yeah, I've got nothing but respect for the club, and they've done a lot for me. And um, to play me week in, week out, and sort of get my experience up and get my confidence up is, something I'm really grateful for. And I've made a lot of relationships, with, good relationships with the girls. Yeah, the coaches there are very supportive. And I felt very respected since, first training session with them. And so yeah, I hope, I'm sure they'll do well this season. So yeah.
Yeah, and obviously for that form and also just your connection with Ipswich Town as well, you get called up to your national team for the Philippines for
Yeah.
the first time. Obviously, you got called up again for the cup as well in Spain, so that must have been an amazing moment. But what was that experience going to LA as well? Like, I was thinking, I wish I was in international football, going to LA and stuff. What was that experience like? And also getting that call. When did you find out when you got a phone call about getting called up to the Philippines for the first time?
That was one experience I can't really describe. Getting called up for that LA camp. Um, it was a weird one actually, because I got called up when I was sort of just trying to get back, because I think I was injured. Um, and I think I had 1 week, if not like 3 training sessions to get back. Otherwise, I don't think I would have made it. And so yeah, that was quite scary to not almost like get going. But yeah, LA was crazy, and I've never been to LA, and never flew that far without my family and on my own. So yeah, that was definitely an experience. And yeah, meeting the girls and the coaches for the first time, and sort of being in that different environment, and atmosphere in a national team. And um, some great players. And um, yeah, still got a lot to learn from them. But yeah, it was crazy.
I'm sure your family were so proud as well. Obviously, they were proud, but that must have been a great moment for them as well to know that you're playing for your national team.
Yeah, very proud moment for them. And um, not only for them, but the rest of the family in the Philippines. They didn't really expect. I don't think any of us expected it, to be honest. And yeah, I just need to learn the national anthem. And um, hopefully they'll be even more prouder. So yeah.
Yeah, you yet to win your first cap, but I'm sure it's going to come soon. It's going to come. But that experience, obviously, in the Pinter Cup, in Spain last month, what was that like as well? Going to a tournament. Unfortunately, didn't win the tournament, but it was
Mhm.
still an experience to remember as well.
Yeah, like you said, yeah. We didn't win any of our games, but you know, to sort of be in that team, be part of it, and um, get involved, is, like you said, is an experience itself. And I couldn't be more grateful to get that opportunity. And not many players get that opportunity. So definitely very thankful for that. And yeah, I can't wait for the next one. I think the next one will be very soon, um, in South Korea. So yeah, can't wait for that one.
That's another big thing. We've had some different guests on before, and I've spoken to Blue about this. Like international football, you do get to travel, the world. From
Yeah,
LA
yeah.
to Spain, now South Korea potentially. Like that has to be, a lot of these places you probably never really think you probably travel to because you just never know if you get the opportunity to. But that's another thing to add to your life. Like I'm going to be able to go and travel, obviously to play football, be with a lot of teammates and friends. That's a experience
Hmm.
to savor.
Yeah, and those are the two things I love doing, traveling and playing football. So to do that at the same time and, be in a new country, new culture and experience different weathers, experience different people, um, I couldn't be more grateful. And, it was a whole turning point in my life because I've never really traveled by myself and sort of experienced it by myself. So to do that, it's a whole sort of learning process and something I'll get used to hopefully. So yeah, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, bring on the next one then. Bring on the next one. And I want to talk about just being a goalkeeper as a whole because it's you get shot a lot of balls at you. What's
Hmm.
that like in training? Also in like matches, normally Laura goes in and then you're the one getting shot the balls at. And of course the girls they don't muck about. They hit them ball really hard. So what's that like? And that must be a moment where you think, sit on girls. But you make a lot of saves and stuff. But yeah, what's
Hmm.
that like?
You definitely have to be brave.
Yeah.
I think that's something that I always tell everyone. Um, yeah, you definitely have to face it. And that's just sort of I think that's just sort of the person I am. And yeah, sometimes I do feel like they don't have mercy at all. When they're just 2 yards away and they still strike it with all their almighty. I think it's I don't mind them just sliding it across if they wanted to. But yeah, definitely some powerful shots I have to face with a lot of the players. And but that's only going to make me better. And yeah, dealing with that, it was week in week out. It's great. It's a great feeling. And to get the praises afterwards whenever I make a good save, it's a feeling that I can't really describe, and not many goalkeepers can. Yeah, we just yeah, I just love what I do.
That's good. That's good. And obviously, we're at the end of the season already, Nina, which is mad to think. Like, to think we're in March already in 2024, it's crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think 6 games left to go. Up next is Rugby Borough, the final away game of the season. We beat them 4-1 at home actually last month, which was a good win. I'm sadly not going to be there. So a slap on the wrist for Ross, but I'm somewhere else, so I won't be at the final away game. But how is everyone? Obviously, from the Portman Road to a away trip to a Rugby Borough. Obviously,
yeah.
you said you're going to be in training later. But yeah, it's the final away game of the season.
Yeah, I think it's gone really quick. Maybe it's different for me because obviously half of the season I was in Cambridge, but yeah, it's definitely gone very quick. And to have this week as our last away game, it could be a little bit sad for us, and because we're a team that loves to travel together and stay overnight together and spend a little bit more time together, and build that team building and stuff like that. So to know that this is our last away trip, it's quite sad, but I'm sure we'll make the most out of it in the journey and the coach. And um, yeah, there'll be more next season. So yeah, we can't wait for that.
Yeah, and after that, it's 5 straight home games. First up, MK Dons on the 7th of April, the day after the Norwich Ipswich Town East Anglian derby at Carrow Road. So that's a big game on the Saturday, but on the Sunday. So yeah, if anybody can't make Rugby Borough, but you can make the game on the 7th of April, get yourself down to AJ Arena. We want to see as well, don't we, Nina, from Portman Road, 10,000. We want to see if we can encourage more fans to go down the Felixstowe. Obviously, we get a good, average attendance of 400 to 500, but we want to hopefully encourage more people to go down the Felixstowe.
Yeah, of course. And like I said before, there's a lot of people that day that first time watching us and first time seeing us. So hopefully, we've really impressed them, and we really put on a show that they're interested and they liked. And so hopefully they wouldn't mind traveling a little bit more outside of Ipswich to come and watch us and support us. And yeah, like I said, inspiring the next generation. Who knows? There could be, the kids could just ask their parents, mum, dad, let's go and watch the Ipswich Girls again, and get more supporters down and build up the audience, and we couldn't be more grateful for that. So yeah.
Definitely, bring it on. Well, Nina, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining me. Any other business from you? Any shout outs you want to mention? Anything else you think we missed?
No, I think that's it. But shout out to my family. That's all, because I know they're going to be listening to this. So shout out to them and the family in the Philippines.
Yeah, I always see your parents and your sister as well. It's great to see them at all the games. So yeah, fair play to all the parents who travel the country, supporting the team. Because I know there's a few parents who go to every game, which is a fair play to. Even Joe's parents, big shout out to Bill and Carol, who go to all the games as well, home and away, never fail. And it's great to see them in the director's box and enjoying the day. So big shout out to everyone who travels across the country. Big shout out to all the supporters. We had the drummer as well. Good to see it. Megan's dad, obviously, is one of the drummers as well, part of that singing section. So yeah, it's great to see them supporting, and that home and away, they never fail. They come to the game. So yeah, big shout out to you. And of course, big shout out to our sponsors, not Manscaped, that's another podcast. Big shout out to John Fowler Solicitors, Mark Kennedy and the team there. Continue their support. And bring on Rugby Borough. Sally, I won't be there, but the girls will be there, and everyone else I'm sure will be there. So bring it on, and we'll be back next time for an hour Track the Girls talk. Bye-bye for now.